Have you ever felt anxious for no clear reason? Moments where your heart races, your chest tightens, and your mind feels like it's spinning, even though nothing scary or stressful actually happened. What if the real trigger isn't in your head at all, but inside your mouth? Because the shocking truth is this: the bacteria hiding between your teeth might be sending your brain into panic mode without you even realizing it. And once you understand how, everything about your anxiety starts to make a lot more sense. Let me take you into a story. A few months ago, I met a guy named Aaron, one of those upbeat, energetic, always smiling people. But underneath that, he was battling constant anxiety. Not the kind tied to deadlines or arguments. His anxiety came out of nowhere. He tried everything: breathing exercises, journaling, cutting caffeine, long walks. Nothing worked. But there was one strange detail that stuck with him. His anxiety always felt worse after a night of poor oral care, or when he woke up with that thick, sour morning breath feeling. At first, he brushed it off as coincidence. But then something happened that he couldn't ignore. One morning, Aaron woke up with his heart pounding as if he had just finished sprinting. His hands shook. His chest felt tight. But he hadn't had a nightmare. No arguments. No stress the night before. The only thing he noticed was how dry and coated his mouth felt. He described it as my tongue wearing a sweater. That sensation bothered him enough that he decided to dig deeper. And that one question, why did his rough mornings always match his bad oral days, led him into a rabbit hole he never expected. Here's where it gets more fascinating. The human mouth is home to over 700 species of bacteria. Most are harmless. Some even help you. But a few of them, they're troublemakers. When these bad bacteria overgrow, they release chemicals, tiny molecules that don't just stay in your mouth. They travel. They get into the bloodstream. Some of them can even trigger your immune system. And here's the wild part. Certain molecules released by oral bacteria mimic the same stress signals your brain interprets as danger. So your brain reacts as if something is wrong, even when everything is perfectly fine. Aaron found something even more shocking. These bacteria can irritate the vagus nerve, the major communication highway connecting your mouth, gut, heart, and brain. So when this nerve gets irritated, your body acts like it's under threat. Your heart beats faster, your chest tightens, you feel restless or uneasy. Not because of a real emotional trigger, but because your body is convinced something is going wrong internally. Imagine experiencing anxiety that isn't mental, it's bacterial. Curious, Aaron decided to test this idea, not medically, just simple everyday habits. For 2 weeks, he cleaned up his nighttime oral routine. He brushed no matter how tired he was. He scraped his tongue. He drank more water before bed. He avoided going to sleep with a dry mouth. And after a few days, something interesting happened. His anxiety didn't magically disappear, but it softened. The intensity dropped. His mornings felt less like a panic attack waiting to happen and more like a normal day. For the first time in years, he felt like anxiety wasn't overpowering him. But here's the cliffhanger: why did such small changes make such a big difference? The answer lies in what certain bacteria produce: sulfur compounds. These are the same chemicals responsible for bad breath, but they do more than just smell bad. They can irritate tissues, stimulate nerves, and make your body feel tense. And when your body feels tensy, your brain follows that lead. Anxiety doesn't always start as a thought. Sometimes it starts as a physical signal. It gets even more interesting. When you go to bed without cleaning your mouth properly, bacteria multiply rapidly while you sleep. The more they multiply, the more of these compounds they release. That's why some people wake up anxious and never understand why. They think it's dreams, hormones, or stress. But in reality, their mouth might be sending false alarms all night long. This doesn't mean bacteria cause anxiety for everyone, but the link is much stronger than people realize. And if your body is already sensitive or stressed, those bacterial signals can push you over the edge. It's like turning up your anxiety volume without touching the dial. So what can someone actually do? Nothing extreme, nothing medical, just practical, easy habits that work with your body instead of against it. One of the biggest game changers is brushing before bed as if it's non-negotiable, not just for your teeth, but for your nervous system. Another is staying well hydrated. A dry mouth is the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Scraping your tongue removes a huge amount of sulfur, producing bacteria. Tiny habits, massive impact. Aaron also stopped eating sugary snacks at night. Sugar feeds the very bacteria that release the worst compounds. And once he made that simple change, his mornings became calmer. Not perfect, but noticeably smoother. Anyone who deals with anxiety knows how valuable even a small improvement can feel. But the most interesting thing happened after a few weeks. As his oral health improved, his anxiety became predictable. He could see patterns. Days when he stayed hydrated, cleaned his tongue, brushed well were peaceful. Days when he didn't were heavier. That predictability alone reduced so much fear. Anxiety feels 10 times worse when it feels random. But when you start seeing the why, the whole experience feels less scary. Now imagine how many people wake up anxious and never connect the dots. People who think they're overthinking, being dramatic, or just wired this way, when in reality part of the problem might be starting inside their mouth. This isn't the whole story of anxiety, but it's a chapter almost no one talks about. A chapter that can give you back a sense of control you didn't know you had. So ask yourself this: what signals is your mouth sending to your brain right now? Are the bacteria helping your body stay calm, or quietly pushing it towards stress? Those tiny organisms might be shaping how you wake up, how you feel, how your day begins. And once you become aware of that, you gain power. The same power Aaron discovered. The power to manage your anxiety instead of being blindsided by it. He still has anxious days, of course, but he's no longer confused by them, no longer powerless. And that shift started with a simple discovery that the path to a calmer mind sometimes begins begins with a cleaner mouth. If this opened your eyes even a little, imagine what else your body might be trying to tell you. If you want more surprising, science-backed mind-body connections, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and share your story in the comments. Have you ever felt anxious for no obvious reason? Your experience might help someone finally understand their own.